Hey guys, welcome to Same Day for Me, Different Day for You. So this is going to be introducing you to the bottom shelf, second shelf of my bookshelf. I apologize about the lighting in the last video. I was reviewing it and I realized that the lighting was not great at all. It's kind of bad. So I wish I would have done this for the first video, but here we have better lighting. I still have a shadow, so it's not great, but it is something. So yeah, we're just gonna get straight into it with the bottom shelf of my bookshelf. Naruto volume, oh wait, I have to put it down here. I'm used to holding them up here, but Naruto volume dos. I don't know what happened to the first one, but I think I gave it to my brother. I hope I gave it to my younger brother, because if I didn't, we have a problem. Because I know I got volumes 1 and 2, so yeah, that could be an issue. I like Naruto as an anime better than a manga. I made it through season 2, but I gave up because it's a big endeavor. I might start it again, but that's currently where I'm at on the Naruto front. So this is the New Kid on the Block poem book. Now when I got this for winning one of the poetry contests I mentioned in my first video, but it honestly has some pretty funny poems. Like, I brought this on vacation, like on the road trip with my family one time, and I was reading them out loud, and they were pretty funny. So these poems I would be down for reading on my channel. I'd never dine on dinosaurs. I'd never dine on dinosaurs. They can't be good to eat. For all they've got are lots of bones and not a bit of meat. Like, okay, that's good. The longer ones are usually the funnier ones, so I don't know which ones were really funny, but some of them were hilarious. This is Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare Made Easy. I have this book because it's Romeo and Juliet. It's beautiful. Shakespeare is amazing. I don't really like Romeo and Juliet that much. I think it's overhyped, especially by English teachers. I like Much Ado About Nothing. It's so funny. It's one of his comedies. I didn't realize that it was that funny. But it's hilarious. I watched part of the movie for English, and it was so funny. It is one of my favorite movies. It's got a bunch of actors that I recognize, and it's so funny and so good. It's amazing. I love it so much. Such a good movie. I want to own it, but I don't own it. It's hard to find, for sure. It's got the main kid from Dead Poets Society in it. That actor. It's got Keanu Reeves, and it's so funny. I also have this. I'm looking, and you can't hear me that well because I'm looking over at my other books, because I have this full collection of Shakespeare, big, thick, this thick, book over here that I have yet to read because I want to read all of the plays. Here we have another library find. Yeah, if you see the barcodes, I got them from the library. Roses for Mama. My mom got this book, and then she gave it to me because she thought I would like it. It is a romance. It's kind of like Lauren Goes Wilder, but in my opinion, so much better. I didn't think I would like this book that much, but I couldn't put it down because I don't really like the Lauren Goes Wilder style books. Lauren Goes Wilder, I like because it's nostalgic. It's not that it is really good writing, but it's kind of bland for me because I like reading fantasy and stuff like that. I do enjoy it. I enjoy pretty much every genre. You need to read this, especially if you like Laura Ingalls. You need to read this because it's in the same time period, but it's a romance and it's so good. I don't know if you can find it anywhere because it's an older book. Copyright 1991. I don't know. It's probably kind of hard to find. This is Rules of the Road by Joan Bauer. This is the first Joan Bauer book me and my mom ever read. Did we read it together? I don't think we did. I think she read it and she told me to read it, and I did. It is about this girl. What is her name? I think it's Jenna. I'm not sure. If it's not, too bad. It's a main character whose name is, I think, Jenna. And she works at a shoe shop, and she really likes her job, selling shoes and stuff. But somehow, I forget how, she gets caught up in driving for this older lady who can't drive for herself. She's basically her chauffeur, which I think that would be a really cool job because I love to drive and you make money. I want that job. Mrs. Gladstone is her name, the older lady's name, and I don't have my own car, so it would have to be the other person's car, but I would love that job, just chauffeuring around well, I would say nice old lady, but she's not really a nice old lady. She's kind of grumpy, but she has great sides. But, just read it yourself. But it's a really good book. Classic, Joan Bauer. As you can tell by this tour, I have so many different genres of books because I like pretty much any genre. So if it's a good book, it doesn't really matter what genre it's in for me. Well, some genres I will not read. I will not read 50 Shades of Grey. I refuse. If it's a good book in almost any genre, then I'll like it. and I'll keep it. Like, if it's a book that I enjoyed, it doesn't matter what genre. I don't care about genres. Like, I know genres and stuff, but I don't care. I like every genre. I thought I didn't like horror, but then I read the Five Nights at Freddy books, and they're really good, well written, and I like them. So, just whatever genre. So if you want to suggest books to me, if you think I like them based on, you know, what books I've liked, then it doesn't matter what genre, except for the few. Next one we have is Safe in the Fold. So yeah, I grew up in a Christian family, in case you haven't figured that out by now. So Safe in the Fold is just, it's this book that I've had forever. It comes with a CD, just this cute story about, you know, the one parable in the Bible. Well, you may not know, but there's this one parable in the Bible where the shepherd loses one sheep and he leaves his whole flock to go find the one sheep, and you're like, well, that's probably not a very good idea, and in real life it's probably not a very good idea, but it's the idea behind the parable that God wants to save everyone, so he will leave everyone to go save the one, because these are already safe. That's the idea. It's just a cute book from my Christian roots and stuff. It's very cute. Good message, I suppose. It is School for Dangerous Girls. You get sent there if you're a dangerous girl, if you do something dangerous. And it's just following this one girl main character, and I don't remember that much about it, but there is a guy that lives there for some reason related to the faculty or something like that, I think. He does stay in a separate room, but you see where some SeaWorld can happen because of that. But it is a well-written book. It is good. I don't know if I would want to read this on my channel because there'd be a lot of censoring and stuff. In case you haven't noticed, in my audiobooks, well, in my audiobooks, not quite, when I read a book, I do, like, censor myself, so I just, like, substitute, like, cuss word with, like, a non-cuss word, you know, like heck, or frick, or butt, because, you know, I try to keep my channel family-friendly as much as I can. It also helps with not getting demonetized. It is a series of unfortunate events. You look here. I have book 1, book 2, book 4, book 9, and book 11. There are 13 books. Because it's the unlucky number. I don't know. So, I have, The Bad Beginning, Reptile Room, The Miserable Mill, Carnivorous Carnival, Grim Grotto. The only one I have in hardcover is Grim Grotto. The other ones are paperback. These are really good. I thoroughly enjoy them. We listened to it on audiobook, my sister and I, and when you get to the end of the first disc, if you listen on disc, if you get it on CD, there's this really scary thing that happens. I don't want to spoil it in case I read it, and it really scared me and my sister. Like, we were younger, so we didn't listen to the rest of it at all, and it was late at night. We like to listen to CDs when we're going to bed, so our mom was still up. We went into her room, we were like, Mom, it's really scary, and we told her what happened, so we didn't follow up on it at all until, like, years later when we were like, oh, remember when we, like, were super scared of that? We were like, yeah, let's get it again and see, you know, how it is, and then we really liked it, and then we kept reading the next ones, and the next ones, and the next ones, so until we watched the Netflix series of Series of Unfortunate Events, and we were watching it, we were like, okay, it's actually really accurate to the books. So I suggest you read the books first, and then go watch the Netflix series, because there are discrepancies, but I think they do a really good job on, like, conveying the feeling of the books to the series. So I actually think it did a really, really good job. Again, if I read this, I'm probably just going to read the first book, because I don't want to get into the whole series thing, and I only have the first 2 books. Next up is Psychology 101. Tales and Wisdom from Duck Dynasty's Favorite Uncle, by Cy Robertson. That's why it's Psychology. It's funny. Psychology 1, because he crossed out the 10. So this is a good book. I have it in hardcover. I don't know why. Anytime I say hardcover, I feel like I have to, like, tap it to prove that it's hardcover. If you like Duck Dynasty, this is a pretty good book. It's funny. These are 4 stars, borderline 3.5. These are hardcover, really, really good condition. The first 2 books in the Spiderwick Chronicles series. So these books were on my to-read list, so I saw these at Goodwill, I think, and I snatched them up because they were also in really good condition. Actually, I don't know if I want to get rid of these because they look really nice. These are the only, like, still in really good shape books that I have. I don't know why I didn't like them that much. I just didn't. I forget the plot because it wasn't that memorable because I didn't like it that much, so sorry. They're these kids who can, like, use that eyepiece to see these creatures or something like that, I think. Yeah, I don't know. This is Stargirl. It doesn't actually have the title. You can see it on the side. It says Stargirl. But it doesn't actually have the title. It is Star and a Girl, which I really like. This is a book about a girl who is, like, weird and very different, and I love that. So after I read this, I saw it at Goodwill, and I didn't have a present for my sister yet, so I got this, and then The Fault in Our Stars for my sister for her birthday, and she really liked both of them. She liked this more than Fault in Our Stars, I think. And she even did a painting that I might show off. She's probably okay with it. I'll ask. This is my sister's picture that I was talking about. I do have permission. She's actually right next to me, so. Oh, we're too close. Wait, there you go. So this is the picture I was talking about that was inspired by Stargirl. It's got her right there, and then the little rat doing like the same thing as her, just going like, so cute. It's so cute. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. I wasn't insane, trust me. And she's such a good artist, you know, you can tell by the 2 other videos she has. She needs to get more videos up, because everybody likes her art videos, so sorry. She should do more. Alright. So this book, definitely read on my channel, because it's really good. There is another book. It's called Love Stargirl. It's got pretty much the same cover, it only says Love Stargirl. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. We have Half Magic by Edgar Eger. This is a really good book. It's about these kids who find a coin. When you make a wish, it half comes true, which is why it's half magic. So they make wishes and they go on crazy adventures and stuff like that. I also have the second book in the series, Knight's Castle. Well, is it? I don't know what number book it is in the series, but it is another book in the series, Knight's Castle. I don't know what number it actually is in the series, but it is another one. Obviously, the styles are different. I like this cover better, personally, the first one. But this is hardcover. Gotta tap it. This is hardcover, the second one. So, yeah. It's a really good series. We read it as a family. At nights, when we were younger, my mom would read books out loud to us, which is probably why I love books so much now. So thank you, Mom, for doing that. You're probably not going to watch this because you don't really watch my YouTube videos. This next one was a library find. Turtles All the Way Down, which is another book by John Green, the author of The Fault in Our Stars. He also has that YouTube channel. This is a really good book. I didn't like it as much as The Fault in Our Stars because now I get the point of the book. It is from the perspective of a girl who has OCD. I'm pretty sure it's OCD. And she's like, it's just really severe. Like, at one point when she kisses the guy, all she can think about is the germs from him that are, like, entering her mouth, and she freaks out and she has to go wash her mouth out. And I understand that it's supposed to be from her perspective, and we're supposed to see it as she is, but it gets kind of annoying for the whole book to read it from the perspective of that. And it might be supposed to be a little frustrating because, you know, but it's a bit much. So I think it would have been better if he would have had, like, flips in perspectives between her and maybe the guy, or her and her best friend. That would have probably made it more bearable, but it's still a really good book, so it's definitely worth reading. It's the 4th Garfield Treasury! It's got, you know, Garfield in color. Like, color? What? The Garfield comics in color. It's so good. Like, what? Garfield's so classic, and I love Garfield. The 2 comics that I would always read in the Sunday comics, I don't so much anymore, but I used to always read them, are Garfield and Zitz. Those were the 2 comics that I really liked. But, yeah, so Garfield's just classic, just so good. Sister's back again. The next book that I have is The Way to Bay. I think that's how I've always pronounced it. Like, that's how I pronounced it in my head while I was reading it. So it could be B, The Way to B, but I think it's Bay. The Way to Bay is hardcover. It's a really good book. I forget exactly what it was about. The only thing I remember about it is the ending, and I can't really tell you that if you want to read it, because that's spoilers. I don't really remember what it was about, but this is a very good book. It is romance book. Romance and friendship, I think. I would say and friendship. I did remember one other thing after I read the back. But Bay, or whoever the main character is, she goes and puts a piece of paper in, like, this tree, like this hollowed out piece of a tree or something, and writing just, like, her, like, doubts or fears or something. I think that's what she was writing about. And then somebody writes back, and she's like, oh, wow. And I think she also joins the newsletter or something. There's, like, weird people in the newsletter. I'm not sure. I haven't read it in a while. Again, there's also a fly flying around here, which is annoying. Annoying, maybe you could say. That would be annoying if he's making lots of noise.
No, it's not funny.
Alright, so the next book we have is Apple Classics, The Wind in the Willows. This is a classic, as it says, Apple Classics. Whenever, of course, if something says it's a classic, it is a classic. Clearly. It must be. So, The Wind in the Willows is classic, but it is really good. It follows, like, there's just these animals that live in the forest, but they have, like, their own adventures and stuff. And there are humans in this, because Toad is, like, the goofy, like, comic relief crazy one, and he, like, drives a car, and he gets arrested by, like, human police. So, like, there are humans, but they interact with the animals like the animals are humans. So I don't really know. It's never really explained what the like dynamic is, but I guess just humans can talk and wear clothes and stuff. So, I mean, obviously humans can do that. Animals can talk and wear clothes and that, so humans treat them the same, I guess. That's the idea in this. But it's a really cute book. It's a really good book. The Toad bits are the best. Toad is hilarious. Like, it's so good. So the next thing we have is this really cute, look at this box. It's so nice. It is old, so it's got like, you know, phrase and stuff, but it is really cute. It's got Winnie the Pooh, Treasury of Winnie the Pooh. It's got these sides, and it has Winnie the Pooh, which is the classic book. It has The House at Pooh Corner, which I think is the second book in the series, and then Now We Are Six and When We Were Very Young, which are two, like, poem books that are kind of loosely based on Winnie the Pooh, but not really. They're just, like, they're kind of separate. They're not really based on the adventures of Winnie the Pooh or anything like that. My mom just recently found the first book, because I was missing the first book. I just had these three, and I was like, I have the whole set, and you gave it to me, and I don't know where the first one is. And she found it for me, and I was like, oh, thank you so much. Dude, it was $1.25 when it was new, because that's the price that's actually printed on it. Can you imagine books being that cheap? Copyright 1926, and then copyright renewal 1954.
No wonder we're so cheap.
The next book we have is another library find. This is Wonder. This is a really good book. It's about, I think it's not really a classic, but I feel like if it were older, it would be a classic, because, like, this is one of those books that pretty much everybody in, at least that actually reads, knows this book, or, like, if you don't know it, it's, like, weird, you know, because it came out fairly recently. Let me look at the copyright on this one, too. Copyright 2012. Yeah, that's pretty recent. 8 years ago. So it is about this kid who had something wrong with his palate, I believe, and like some other problems, mostly with his face. So it goes through like him getting like bullied and stuff, friends that he makes, and like basically his like adventure and like his life with going to like high school with those types of problems. I do not own the stories from the different perspectives of the character. I forget what they're called, but there are different books from the different perspectives of the character, including the one bully, the one kid who starts bullying him. And I really like that, because usually in stories you just see the bully, you don't really see the bully's side of it. And like, obviously he was wrong, but he, in his mind, he was justifying it. And he did have, like, he used to be friends with Augie. Augie is the kid. His reasons for why he was bullying him, like, you get it. Like, when you read his side of the story, you, like, understand why he was doing it, but you're still like, no, those aren't valid reasons to bully someone, you know? So you do feel for him, but he does, spoilers, he does have a redemption arc at the end, so that's good. This book is another manga. It is Yonen Buzz. It's basically, this one I don't really like that much, but it's good enough to stay on the shelf. I don't really love it, but it's good enough to stay on the shelf. It follows these, like, singers and stuff. Oh, here, we got a color picture. Dude, why is he not wearing a shirt? I don't know. It's got these, like, follows these, no, not actors. Oh my gosh. These singers, they're in a band. He's in a bond. He's in a bond. Sorry, inside joke. Is that from something that some people might get?
Yes.
But he's not wearing a shirt. I guess that was the thing. I haven't read it absolutely ever, but I guess it's his thing not to wear a shirt when he's drumming. I don't know. And then this one girl, I think if I remember correctly, she was a fan of them, and she was on the way to a concert, but she got lost, and then she ran into one of the performers who was also, he was either lost or he was just ditching his friends, like, with their gig that they had. So I'm pretty sure that's the story of it. I'm not positive, though. I could be wrong. And then I have two more Charlie Brown cartoons. You're in Love, Charlie Brown, and You Can't Win Them All, Charlie Brown. They're not with the other Peanuts book, because that one started with an I, and these ones start with a Y. Those are different, I and Y. I and Y. I don't know why I'm pronouncing them like that. But yeah, just really cute comics. You know, Charlie Brown. Everybody knows Charlie Brown. Snoopy, classic. You know, Woodstock, Snoopy, Charlie Brown, Linus, Lucy, all them. So, very good. Always good. We have Death Note, it has actual Death Note in it. I kept the packaging because, you know, I wanted to keep it nice. So I got this for the L cosplay that I did for one Halloween. L from Death Note. So I had him holding it, like, I had him, I was him, but I was holding it like this, you know, because he holds stuff like that. Like, even the cell phone, you know, he, like, holds in front of his face, and he types like that. And I had my mom take the picture of me holding it like that, and then I drop it. I was like, I want to keep it nice. The idea behind this is that you could use it as a, it's got, like, pages of, like, you know, I didn't really read this because I just got it for the cosplay, but it also has pages where, see, it's got, like, actual pages, like, from where he wrote, like, Lindell Taylor, he wrote her name, and, like, other people's names. I don't know how exactly accurate this is, but, he didn't use all of the pages, and there are a lot of pages left here, so the idea is you could use it for a notebook, but I don't want to use it for a notebook. I want to keep it nice, and I want to keep it just like it is. Also, the cover is, like, really sick. Let me see if I can... I haven't tried to take it off. Okay, I'm not going to take it off. Too dangerous. So yeah, there's that one. Very nice. And if you didn't get a good look at that, it's got the Shinigami and Kira on there. And then I guess it's supposed to be a Shinigami's face. I don't know. What was his name? Ryuk, right? That was his name? Because I'm just like the Shinigami. I don't know. And we have second college edition New World Dictionary of the American Language. So this is what I was talking about before. I was like, I don't really need the spelling dictionary because a normal dictionary does it for you pretty much the same thing. So, alright, let's flip to a random page and read a word. First word I see. String halt. A condition in horses causing one or both hind legs to jerk spasmodically in walking. So yeah, I've got a dictionary. I could take this off of my bookshelf to make more space for other books, but see, the problem is then I have to find somewhere else to put it. And I don't have anywhere better to put it, where it wouldn't just be taking up more space than it does on the bookshelf. So it's like, eh. The next thing I have is this photo album that you're just looking at the back of because it's got photos of me. This was, you know, some pictures I took. We went to the Auto Museum in one of the other cities. I wish I would have written down where these cities were, but... I didn't really, frankly, care. Like, we went to Alaska a while ago, so I wouldn't really have cared. I wouldn't really have thought of it. So there was this cool car, and then there were a lot of cool dresses. I took more pictures of the dresses than the cars. My mom has caused me to be more of a car person than I was before, but I'm still not that big of a car person. I kind of want to be a bigger car person, though, because cars are cool. We went to the Wildlife Center. We saw this really cool car that was like a whale, which was really neat. We saw a bear, buffalo, wolf, eagle. This was a porcupine, I think, or something. I'm not sure. If I didn't put this on my bookshelf, I wouldn't have a better place for it where it wouldn't be taking up more space than it is on the bookshelf. So I just have it on here. That is it for the tour. I hope you watched part 1. If you watched this one, I hope you watched part 1. I mean, it's not really necessary. I did reference it a few times, but I mean, it's just the top shelf. So if any of these books that I described caught your interest, or you know of it, and it's on your to-read list, or you have read it before and you want to hear it read by me, then let me know and I will try to make the audiobook of it. Subscribe if you want to, like if you liked it, and comment if you have something to say, or if you want a book, or if you have a suggestion of what you want me to read. I'll see you guys on the flip side.